It's good to be here in Vegas. The atmosphere this week is unbelievable. The buzz around the hotel, everything. It's starting to feel real now. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. I have a job to do Saturday night, and that's the main focus right now.
And you fought on some solid venues and cities, but I mean, I don't think that compares to what you're about to do this weekend. So what's it like when you compare like that?
Yeah, I've headlined some great cards. I fought in New York. I went back to Dublin, headlined there. The Irish crowd is unbelievable. But I don't think anything can compare to this weekend. You know what I mean? It's going to be the world is going to be watching, and yeah, I'm looking forward to just putting on a show for everyone.
We know there'll be a lot of Mexican people in the crowd this weekend, but how many people from Ireland do you think we'll see at the Allegiant?
A good few, hopefully. You know what I mean? I know there's definitely I've at least 10 coming in there from my family, but yeah, it'll be good. The Mexican fans they love to fight. The Irish fans love to fight, and I think all around, I think it's just going to be great. Whether it's Mexican or Irish fans, I think there's going to be a great buzz around this fight, and hopefully they'll all leave Irish fans.
I'm sure there'll be a lot as always. So obviously Fernando Vargas Jr. the booking this weekend. So what do you make of it when they brought you that name for a card like this, and what do you make of the style he brings to the table?
Yeah, I think it's a very good fight. He's 17-0, I'm 14-0. None of us wants to lose, and it's rare that you see a fight like this in boxing. Two young, undefeated guys going up against each other in front of the world. I think boxing needs more of this. I don't think a loss here should really affect either of us, considering it's a big stage, big fight, and I think both of us can really grow from it. And yeah, I think we shouldn't be worried about a loss. We should just go in there and fight and put on an entertaining fight for the fans.
What specific message do you want to send out on Saturday? Because we know a lot of people will already be tuned in by the co-main event by the time you guys are fighting. So perhaps there's going to be people that have never seen you guys fight, and now you get to introduce yourself to the world.
Yeah, this is a new era of boxing. This is what we're trying to do. This is what Dana White's involved in. We're not putting on shitty fights where people are going to run around the ring for 10 rounds. You know what I mean? This is the UFC's version of boxing, and we're going to fight. We're going to put on entertaining fights, and yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Speaking of the UFC, I feel like some of the MMA people have known you as a boxer with, the UFC relations and Dana White. So do you think this is a full circle moment of your relationship with Tom Loeffler, TKO, and Dana White for them to put you on such a big stage?
Yeah, definitely. I was always waiting for a big moment, and when there was rumors that Dana was going to promote this card, I was always hopeful that I would be on it, and I didn't care about being co-main event or being anywhere. I was just happy to be part of it. And obviously when they told me I was co-main event, yeah, it was unbelievable, and I think, yeah, definitely full circle moment, definitely proves what we're trying to do, what Dana's trying to do, put on entertaining fights with young undefeated fighters and get rid of this 50-0 thing, and just bring back boxing, and make it great again.
Obviously, with that, you're no stranger to the way the UFC operates or even fight weeks. So what's it been like having your sport operate the way the UFC operates their traditional fight weeks, media days, and all that?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It makes things a lot easier. All this, the meals you get, they supply the weight cut stuff. The UFC staff are unbelievable. They make it very easy, and I think this is how boxing needs to be. I've been around it with the UFC for a while, and I always hoped that boxing would get the same idea, make things a lot easier for the fighters for the week, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
If you get your hand raised on Saturday, where do you want to go after this?
Home. So after Saturday, once I win, I just bought a house. I bought a farmhouse. I'm going to go back, work on that for a while. Hopefully, get my cows in the bonus that I've been asking for, and do a bit of work there. Go back in the gym, and yeah, maybe look for a bigger fight next year or whenever they offer it to me.
Good luck to you.
Callum, it's very rare to ever be on a card of this stature, right? And then even rarer to get to the co-main event, and even rarer still to be at your stage of your career to get to this level. Have you even been able to take it all in and enjoy the stage that you're on, or do you have to remain focused because you're still a guy working your way up the rankings and winning is the most important thing?
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I've been here this week and it's going well. I'm enjoying it, but at the end of the day, I understand, this. With the way boxing works, I'll be thrown back to the back, if I lose this fight, you know what I mean? So it's very important for me to get the win. I'm staying very focused, I'm doing a lot of visualization, for this fight. Trying to keep my mind focused no matter how many people will be there that night, no matter how much pressure is on me, I'm going to go out there and get the job done.
You mentioned about Dana and TKO Boxing wanting to sort of get rid of the attachment to the zero on boxers' records and get used to just the best fighting the best and making that the focus. Do you think that has been something that's come from the boxers who have got used to wanting that zero, or do you think it's the promoters who have tried to make sure their guys don't lose? Where do you think that culture has emerged from in boxing up to now?
I think it's a bit of both. Obviously, with the Floyd Mayweather thing, everyone wanted to be 50-0, everyone wanted to be undefeated. But at the end of the day, I'd rather have a record of 20-5, and every single fight I've been in, people have enjoyed, and people come to see me fight because they know it's going to be a fight, rather than people barely know who I am and they're going to be falling asleep in the crowd, and I'm going to fight 10-round decision every time. So, and I think it's the promoters too. They like to, because the way boxing has gone, it's easier to promote an undefeated prospect than someone with a losing record because of this mentality. But I think with Dana and Zuffa Boxing and TKO, the way this thing is going, it'll be like, it'll make people realize, that you're just going to see good fights. Records don't matter as long as you're fighting high level fights, and whether you win or lose, people need to be entertained, and I think the MMA fans will enjoy it a lot more too.
And last one for me, your relationship with Dana is well known. The place you are on this card is obvious, but it seems like you're set up here to become the face of TKO boxing when it all kicks off. Is that something you're looking forward to, something you're appreciating, and is it something that you're ready to sort of take on?
Yeah, definitely. I would hope so. I would love to be the face of TKO boxing. I would love to be the man that Dana and Tom and everyone sends out to fight anybody. That's what it's about for me. I don't want to be hyped up as 30, and never fought anyone. I want to be the guy that they're like, right, we're looking for a fight. Callum will fight him. Send him out. He'll fight. He'll put on a show. Everyone will be happy. Fans will show up to the fight because they know I'm going to show up and fight. And that's the thing for me. Just be entertaining and give people their money's worth.
Hey, Callum, to your left. You've talked a lot about entertaining and being willing to actually put your record on the line in a real fight. How do you balance all that with control and caution and just like wanting to fight smart?
Yeah, I've had a lot of experience. I've had 150 amateur fights. I've won European gold medal. I've won 6 national Irish titles. They're not very easy to win. I've fought all over the world, and my experience, and I have confidence in my chin. I'm not really scared to get hit. I'm not afraid to be hit. So I like to mix up when I fight too. I can stay controlled but still push the fight and still win. But not have people falling asleep in the crowd is the main thing.
So it sounds like a big part of it is not fighting scared.
Yeah, not fighting scared and having confidence in my ability and knowing what I can do. And if it goes wrong, I won't have to worry about it because I'll be asleep.
How much, you talk about fans who might not know fighters. The platform that is Netflix, how much do you think that will help bring people in and fighting on Netflix? And, it's all, like you said, it's all around the world.
Yeah, I think Netflix is going to be a massive opportunity for everybody on this card. There's going to be grandmothers clicking on it by accident. You know what I mean? There's going to be people that have never seen a fight before just seeing it for the first time. And I think it's a massive opportunity for us to go out there, put on entertaining fights and gain fans and gain and turn people into fight fans. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Netflix is a massive opportunity for everyone. You're going to have all age groups watching. You're going to have everybody and anybody watching, and it's going to be good.
Hey, Callum. Good to see you again. Tom Loeffler's got quite a few good fighters, as well as you, on his roster. Mizuki Hirata, Oma Trinidad, but there's also Sergey Boychuk, who is fighting on this card. Has there ever been any talks or inclination that you and Sergey could be on a collision course one day in the near future?
No, we've never talked about it, but at the end of the day, we're fighters, you know what I mean? I like Sergey, me and him have sparred together before, we talk, but we're all fighters, you know what I mean? Our job is to fight, and if it happens, it happens, I'm sure he has the same mentality, you know what I mean? It's all well and good outside the ring, but if you have to fight, you have to fight,
What were those sparring sessions like?
Oh, it was very good sparring, that's world-class sparring, I mean, that's probably the best sparring you can get out there, sparring with the top division guys, you know what I mean, the top of the division guys, you know what I mean, it's unbelievable, it's a great experience, and that's just all from being at Wildcard, and getting the experience from Wildcard boxing.
Thanks, Cal. Best of luck on the weekend.
Thank you.
Callum, over here, Marcos Villegas, Fight Up TV. Just your opinion, how would you rate Junior's past performances and the opponents he's had in comparison to the opponents you've had?
To be honest, I haven't watched much of him. You know, I mean, not really. I'm never interested in watching opponents. I don't study tape. From what I've seen, you know, I feel like I've fought better competition in the pros, and like I said, the amateur experience I've had. I've fought big names in the amateurs. You know, I've fought in numerous championships. I've won a lot of championships, and I think that will show on fight night. You know, the experience that I have, the fight IQ that I have, and yeah, I just think I'm a lot better fighter all around.
Just to follow up on what you said, why don't you watch tape of your opponents?
Because it's a fight at the end of the day. You know, there's obviously people have traits that they repeat. You know, but it could be any man on any night. You know, and I just think once I prepare to my best and I'm fit and I'm ready, I'll beat anybody on any given night.
And my last one for you, and I apologize if I'm not privy to the details. The thing about the cow and the farm, are you serious about getting like the cows and like part of your payment in that?
Yeah, I'm 100% serious. Tax-free cows.
How many cows?
As many as they'll give me, I'll take. I'm looking for two cows, but whatever, I'll take anything.
Thank you.